Did you know that in an interview for the release of Minions and Monsters, Pierre Coffin, the director of the movies about the little yellow beings and the guy responsible for voicing all of them, revealed a brand new and completely different origin for the Minions? Big Bang. In an interview with the Polygon website, the French director was asked about how minions actually reproduce, since the third solo movie of the loyal servants to the worst villains revealed that there are different tribes of minions scattered across the globe, with the ones serving Gru being just one of them. In response, Pierre then revealed that he had plans to show a completely never-before-seen origin in the opening of the third movie. He said the following: "I had another idea for the opening credits of Minions and Monsters. I wanted it to start with the Big Bang, and from the Big Bang, darkness would emerge along with several little yellow dots. Then, we would follow these yellow dots going from planet to planet, and eventually, we would reach this big blue thing that was separating, helping in the separation of the moon and what would become Earth. After that, these little yellow dots would reach Earth and populate it. Basically, we were trying to say that the origin of all this is the Minions." Do you have any idea how awesome this is? This could mean not only that there are different tribes of minions on planet Earth, but that there might also be minions on several other planets scattered across the universe. However, when I heard this, I kept asking myself if this would somehow change the origin of the minions that was shown at the very beginning of the first movie. And it also made me investigate other previous origins that the creators of the Despicable Me franchise brought up way back in the first film. And what I found out was simply mind-blowing. Get ready, because right now, we're going to tell you all about the real origins of the Minions, and we are going to blow your mind. First origin. If you're anything like us and have a really well-trained eye, you might have already figured out that in the girl's bedroom in the first Despicable Me feature film, you can check out some robots on their shelf that look a whole lot like the Minions themselves. And a little further ahead in the same room, you can also notice an idea board where we can see the complete look of the Minions, containing data and the word "final" really huge and red. This makes it obvious that from the get-go, Illumination's plan was for the creation of the Minions to happen right there in Gru's own laboratory. The fact is that the inventor of the Minions would be none other than Dr. Nefario, who supposedly made them through crazy tests, mixing popcorn kernels, bananas, and a little bit of human DNA. Pretty much the exact same way they invented Kyle, who is an experiment made from the mixture of dog DNA with piranha DNA. Except that folks loved the little Minions so much that right off the bat, after the success of Despicable Me, this origin possibility was entirely forgotten, and a brand new birth storyline was made, which is exactly the one we watch at the very beginning of the Minions movie. However, it has some points and plot holes that leave room for some pretty scary ideas, just like we're about to tell you right now. Second origin. Like we said, at the very beginning of Minions, we noticed that the past of the yellow critters was changed, and they became single-celled beings that possessed the automatic urge to always seek out the most evil leader that came around. And as the years went by, the beast they tagged along with kept growing until they left the water. And because of this, they also changed to the point of leaving the water too, just to be able to keep up with their boss. And from that moment on, the Minions always started searching for the most terrible beasts they could find, proving that they have a natural-born gift for wickedness, which apparently has no reason behind it, at least not one that they've talked about to this day.
And two things really stand out. The first one is that this whole thing started happening roughly 3.5 billion years ago. If we think about the moment when the first beasts left the water, according to certain scholars, this stuff went down 400 million years ago, which means that the Minions appeared in the world way before humans did, just like we can notice in the movie itself. The second thing is that even after so many millions of years, the biology of the Minions remains almost unchanged.
They continue to be short little critters with 1 or 2 eyes and 3 fingers on each of their hands. Putting it another way, ever since they left the water, their growth just completely stalled. Alien origin. The idea that the minions are actually extraterrestrials is pretty old, way before that talk from the creator of the critters and director of their movies. And strictly between us, it makes a lot of sense. Like we said just a bit ago, the first feature film made us think that the minions emerged from Earth bacteria that lived at the bottom of the ocean. But with this new discovery, the beginning through bacteria continues, except that these little cells actually arrived from space and ended up becoming the minions here. This way, the minions must have also picked up from their extraterrestrial relatives the innate habit of always helping the toughest and cruelest of leaders. The coolest part is that for all the beasts that the minions helped, not a single one of them wanted to do anything bad to them. For example, the Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't even think about swallowing one of them, which points out that they must have some kind of natural body defense that keeps them safe from any bad ideas, truly turning them into the ideal sidekicks for whoever is looking to do cruel things. Another detail tied to the chance of the minions' extraterrestrial heritage is their gift to easily turn into other monsters. Just like what happens in Despicable Me 2, the moment Dr. Nefario, alongside El Macho, take the minions as guinea pigs and mutate them into those much tougher and deadly monsters. This proves that there's a real chance the minions were actually made to become weapons of destruction, or pieces of some sort of attack troop from another planet. Stuff that could very well be shown in one of the upcoming Despicable Me or Minions movies that should be coming out soon, don't you think? I would love to see that happening. That way, we would have a bunch of funny minions running around.
Before we continue, just a quick heads up. If you also enjoy movies, series, and cartoons, click the subscribe button right now, alright?
Superpowers. Way before the invention of the Mega Minions, you could already notice that the little yellow guys practically had some hero gifts. Not to mention that it looks like they never die, seeing as they've lived on Earth for millions of years. And, as we mentioned, they can still manage to chill in space without breathing oxygen. Very different from us normal people. Just like we can check out at the end of Despicable Me, and also in the short film Mooned, where we see Vector clinging to the moon and getting the partnership of the minion who drank Dr. Nefario's anti-gravity potion. Added to that, the moment Scarlet gives Herb the mission to hurt the minions, I swear he tries. Except the physique of the yellow critters is very different from any human being, allowing them to be stretched out a lot, and right after that, go back to normal. Stuff that apparently not even they themselves had any idea they could pull off. Showing that, in every way, the minions are actually the ultimate creatures living on planet Earth. Except they are still loyal sidekicks to the baddest person they bump into. This throws into the air the doubt that, since the beginning of their lives on Earth, they aren't truly from this world, but instead must have arrived from somewhere else, brought by guys from outer space.
The beginning of it all. A bunch of people can't even imagine, but before Illumination came up with releasing a movie just with Gru's partners, the idea of setting up sidekicks for the main character of the title was already there. And some looks in the biggest scheme of a tough guy crew were made. To shortly after change to less human guys, but still very bizarre. However, the ideas didn't really click with the bosses at Illumination, who were looking for characters that were funny at that moment and didn't give a damn about helping someone evil. It was at this exact moment that one of the company's animators piggybacked off a bag of popcorn kernels and started drawing funny yellow critters that let out noises that are both messed up and super hilarious.
This was the kickoff to creating the Minions, and it went down so beautifully that they didn't get just one movie, but two, and with enough momentum to yield more in the future. Pure awesome. That is the origin of the designs for Gru's partners. But what about their past right inside the story in Despicable Me? The fact is that the Minions have two incredibly different beginnings, which we are going to break down for you right now. Minion number 900. Another curious point we need to talk about the Minions is that they never breed. After all of the guys are male. But to figure this out, there's another theory going around. The thing about the Minions coming from a single cell at the beginning of ages might point out that their way of reproducing was by dividing their body, at least until they evolved. But soon after they went into the water, according to the owners of the characters, their numbers somewhat stagnated. In the words of Pierre Coffin, the exact total of Minions nowadays hits 899. And since he emphasized nowadays, there's a chance that this number was way bigger in the old days, except that as time rolled by, it kept shrinking. Just like we check in the scenes where the Minions tag along with their evil bosses, you can notice that the amount is pretty much the same always, because at the end of the day, the crew is almost unbreakable. From that popped up an idea nailing down that these sidekicks of evil minds since the dawn of the world might have counted at a certain phase on a female minion, who would come to be Minion 900. Pretty much in the same league as the Smurfs, who have a single female in their species. The rumor also guarantees that there's a huge chance the next solo Minions feature film will focus on a hunting adventure, where the Minions would gather a rescue squad to find the only female minion left in order to try to pull her back to the pack. But this isn't going to be a chill mission. That's because, on the opposite side of the males of the species, the girl supposedly wouldn't have stopped growing and would boast a much higher intelligence than theirs, and because of that, she must have bailed on the crew many thousands of years ago. The detail that proves a female minion truly exists is the memory that hits the minds of the rest of the Minions, stuff that becomes clear the moment we see Stuart in England hitting on a yellow fire hydrant, exactly as if it were a female of the group. Who knows? Maybe the girl just got sick and tired of getting hit on by all the other 899 Minions and preferred to hit the road just to be able to relax in peace. And in this situation, seriously speaking, I couldn't really blame her.
We've reached the end of this video, but if you like having your mind blown, this is the right place. That's why we left two really good videos for you to click, watch, and best of all, stay with us.